Pisces, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-October 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's going on for the lovely Piscean collective. My guides and spirit team, talk to me. What do you have for us Pisceans here? What's happening as we move into one of the best times of year, if you ask me, mid-October. Yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Pisces. Please and thank you. Let's get this first card flying here. What's happening? Talk to me. Okay. I mean, prototypical lead-off Piscean energy here when we have this woman with a damn tree sprouting out of her head with fruits and stuff. Yeah, reading. Oh, some of you could be doing a lot of reading here when this card shows up. Before we fully dive into that, though, Pisces, there's a lot of little undertones with this card. Before we do, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the October subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about this card. Interesting image, right? You see this woman, she has like a mask on, she's surrounded by all these different books and letters, writing utensils, and she has a tree bearing fruit that is popping out of her head. Now, I often speak at the beginning of Piscean readings about our imagination, that a lot of us, we daydream a lot, we have beautiful, rich imaginations and stuff like that, which can be good, but sometimes it could be a hindrance. The difference with this one is that this tree is bearing fruit. Now that gives us a little extra push where Spirit's saying like, hey, all right, well, I know you're creative, I know you're imaginative, I know you have a lot on your mind, but something could be very viable in this time. Like, you could really bear fruit. So whether it is business related, whether it is just learning new knowledge that could help you move forward in life, this is a very prosperous, good card, especially when we have a fruit bearing tree. Okay. For another portion of you, yeah, like I said, with all the books and stuff, you might be like pulling in knowledge, doing a lot of reading, doing a lot of studying. This is a nice energy for us to lead off with, but as with all energies that have a lot of mental things happening, a lot of things going on in the mind, make sure that you're putting it to use in some way. Don't keep it trapped in. If you're thinking a lot, if you have a lot on your mind, find some sort of outlet for it. And I've been seeing that for a lot of the Zodiac this week, but let's just put her down right over there. Okay, we're going to get you into tarot now. I always say with that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into the intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up here one time for my lovely Pisceans. Let's see what's going on, my guides, in mid-October. And while we get the deck ready, let's talk about last week's reading. It was a bit different. We were riding a nice wave for quite a while, Pisces. But last week's reading was titled An Important Warning. And I do believe the reason it was titled that is that for like 2 or 3 weeks now, I've been seeing a lot of tower energy around the Pisces collective. And you know what towers represent. It's a lot of unexpected energy. It's a lot of shocking energy, things popping up out of nowhere. So hopefully if that's been happening, it's been good things. But I feel like that was the big crux of the warning last week, is that like this tower energy is lingering around. So we're going to see what we have for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone you're linked to. So let's get it going here. Let's get 3 cards for Pisces to start. Mid-October, thank you. Okay, Judgment. So yeah, here's this fast, similar to the tower energy, still lingering around. Okay, even though Judgment could be other things, like when I see it, it reminds me a lot of the tower, just because of the fact that it's so powerful. Let's get a couple more. Could be karmic as well. There it is. I mean, I was just speaking about it. It's still here, Pisces. And once again, remember, especially if you're new here, I'm part of the collective myself, so whatever these energies are, I'm going along with it with you. Let's get one more out here. Okay, 7 of Cups. All right, so it gives me hope that we have this 7 of Cups, and this links with the Oracle card, but this tells me that all is not terrible, all is not lost, But there are some things we're going to need to take a look at here, Pisces. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into the juicy intuitive stuff. So at first look, first glance, we're starting the reading off with two of the most powerful major arcana in the whole entire deck, which sometimes that could be a lot to handle. That could be a lot to deal with, especially going from Judgment into the Tower. Now, the Seven of Cups is more of this headspace, imaginative, dreamy type of energy showing up, and we'll go into that in more depth in a minute. But that gives me hope, especially with like all this Tower energy, the explosive energy, the surprising, shocking, whatever we want to call it. The fact that we have this here, hopefully your mind state isn't in a bad place. Like you're not thinking worst case scenario about certain things. But let's go through one by one and really start to build this story out. Position number one, we have Judgment. The good thing about Judgment is that it is angelic. It has the Archangel Gabriel on it, so just know, regardless of what's popping up in the reading, this does represent spiritual protection. This card could represent literal judgment. So some of you might be making a judgment call, whether it's a final judgment, a final decision, or just weighing a situation or weighing options. Judgment can be that. But I always say this card is Plutonian in nature. It's change-based, it's transformative, it's metamorphosis. So when we see all this, there's so much change in the air, Pisces, and I would say it would be best to not fight against it. It would be better to like go along with it. Believe it or not, that's just the vibe I'm picking up here. But Judgment doesn't have to be bad, but it's action. It's like a triggering. It's like an explosive energy moving forward. Okay, and it feels like this Tower's been lingering a while. It's been bubbling. So whether this is something that's already happened or something that's coming up, there's just so much power here. Okay, so we'll see what Judgment means. We're starting with a bang. Moving to the center, the Tower itself. Now, we've already been speaking about it. The Tower doesn't always have to be bad. I say that every time. Towers can be good towers. Just because the imagery is a little concerning with the people flying out of that damn tower doesn't mean that it's all bad. When we see towers, we think of people breaking down the foundation to start rebuilding a new one. It's karmic in nature, similar to Judgment. This could represent a Scorpio as well if you're linked to one. But when I see the Tower, once again, it's surprise, it's shock, it's the unexpected. So whether it's situations, whether it's problems, whether it's good things, it all really depends on what the clarifier says. But when we go from Judgment, it's like Judgment, Tower, boom. Now there's more options. So it's odd. It's like after this Tower, like a whole new plethora of options open up, which I would say should be a good thing. Okay, so just know that if you've recently gone through any towers or shocks or surprises, it's going to open up a whole new world. Like that's the vibe I'm picking up here. But let's keep pressing forward. You already know what that Tower represents. We'll get into it more. And I do always say the Tower is also a phallic symbol. It could represent sexuality. So some of you might be running a little hotter than normal, especially with the Tower in so many consecutive weeks. It's like a lot of libido. Moving to the back end, we have the Seven of Cups. So you see that person there, it looks like they're looking at all those different cups. Interesting when we have a card like Judgment. So this could be a card of options. This could be a card of paths. And I already explained, I feel like after the Judgment and Tower, a lot of options open up for a lot of the Pisceans here. So you might be in that mode and mindset like, all right, well, which road do I want to walk down? Which one is the best option? But this is, once again, daydreaming. There's a lot of thought-based energy. There's a lot of, thinking, literally. So whether it's a person on your mind, someone thinking about you, or just the mind in general has been showing up like extra heavy for the Pisceans recently. But once again, the fact that we have this mental card next to, the Tower and Judgment, just try your best not to think worst case scenario about things. So I want to dive deeper on all of it, Pisces. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for Pisces, please, my guides and spirit team. It's happening. And yes, my friends, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on Judgment here. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Pisces, you can drop it down in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Judgment time. Why is Judgment here? I know there's a lot of very good Pisces readers out there. Okay, yeah, World in reverse, huh? So we're getting all the heavy hitters here, Pisces. And I chuckle not because it's a joke, but it's just like tarot really blows my mind sometimes. All of these cards have so many different similarities. Now, the world in reverse could represent cycles that have already closed out, endings, but I just have to say, with all this karmic energy, a lot of you are on the precipice of a huge change or a massive change. This could be a karmic change or a karmic shock of some sort, where it's like, whoa, I've been waiting so long and now it's here. It's like, whoa, I've been waiting for this to happen, and suddenly, boom, it just happens. So for a lot of you, that could really be the case here. The world in reverse, once again, could be something that's already happened. And I also link this to the world itself. This card's been showing up a lot for a lot of different signs. So please try your best in this time not to like really doom scroll too much on your phone. Don't really like watch the news for like 10 hours a day, because it really might be making you much more anxious when stuff like that happens. Because the world to me can represent world events. However, I feel like a lot of you are really on the verge or the precipice of like a really massive change or shift. That's just what's showing up, especially with the Tower, with Judgment, with the world. It's all here, and they're all karmic, and they're all cycle-based. So we're going to keep pressing forward. And remember, that does not have to be bad. Sometimes change can be uncomfortable. But I'm getting that vibe, like I've waited for so long. I've been waiting for so long, and you know, it's finally here. So I want to see how this plays on the back end as well, because I did say I was kind of getting that like triggering to Tower to many options, whole new world type of energy. So let's see what the Tower is about. Let's see why the Tower is here for Pisces. Getting all the heavy hitters this week, my friends. It's all right, though. Why is the world here? We'll go with that flow regardless. Okay, yeah, Page of Cups in reverse. Okay, that's a card that could represent Pisces. It could represent another water sign. I really feel like a lot of you, if you've been through Tower moments recently, you're wanting to go through it on your own or by yourself. When I have the Page of Cups in reverse, it's like possibly not talking to someone, not speaking about something. This is like no heads up, no clues. It's just like, boom, it happens. So like there could be, once again, things, shocking things or situations that just happen. There was not many clues as to what's going on. Once again, I want to say we have a lot of angelic protective energy here as well. So don't get yourself nervous about the energies and cards that are showing up, because I do still feel that divine protection. Just with a card that could represent you in reverse underneath the Tower, there might be an adjustment period. So I'm getting that for a lot of Pisceans. Like this could be growing pains or an adjustment period of some sort. If you're having difficulties, I don't really see you talking to many people about it. Okay, so once again, if we're going through a karmic situation or a karmic shock of some sort where it's like, whoa, all right, that happened, I don't feel you externalizing it and speaking it to other people. There's like a big internalization of this energy as well. So whatever changes, metamorphosis, the karmic, all that stuff we were already speaking about, I don't see you making big news about it, okay? Like, or speaking to people about it. Like it's something that you would keep to yourself. Let's keep moving over to the Seven of Cups. But for the vast majority of you, when I see this in reverse, if you're not having communication issues with somebody, it could just be something happening where there wasn't much of a heads up. So let's see why that Seven of Cups is here. Wasn't much notice, wasn't much heads up. So why is the Seven of Cups in the mix? And we'll do a quick recap before we get the shadow card. Thank you. Knight of Cups in the upright, boom. There's that bounce back, Pisces. Wow, love it. So at the end of the day, regardless of all this power, the shock, the karmic, all that stuff, we have the Knight of Cups in the upright underneath the Seven of Cups. So just like I've been feeling since the very beginning, whatever's happening, whatever these energies are that are showing up, because I know there's tons of Pisces going through tons of different things. This is telling me that like you're going to come out better for it one way or another. There's so many different options, so many different paths, so many different possibilities that after all this powerful change and metamorphosis, like a whole new world, a whole new paradigm opens up. Now, the Knight of Cups is the evolved version of the Page of Cups. So remember I was saying like adjustments, growing pains. Now this Knight of Cups shows up in the upright. That's what we want to see. So we're seeing the butterfly come out of the cocoon, literally, in the spread. Like if you look at the storyboard of what's happening here, it shows up. And this is a Piscean card. Now the Knight of Cups could also represent romance. It could represent love. The Knight of Cups is a smooth talker, Prince Charming type of individual. and it's forward movement and momentum. So Pisces, I feel good things, regardless of how uncomfortable or what's happening or the trepidations or the shock, all these things that I've been speaking about. I know those words could be a little scary sometimes, and it's not always comfortable. In the end, it's like a whole plethora of options, choices, claimable energy right here on the back end. So if you're in the midst of all this, have hope in the future, have hope in a brighter day, because I'm feeling beautiful things to come. So let's go through and do a quick recap before we get into the shadow card. I like the ending of this, even though I was getting a little nervous here when we had Judgment, the World, the Tower. It's like, whoa, what the heck is going on? But in position number one, we have Judgment with the World in reverse. I was saying, like, yeah, I mean, it could represent the world itself. Try to not doom scroll or anything like that too much, but we have so much of the karmic energy. So whether it is a karmic shock, a karmic situation, it's all showing up here. And it could be like you not repeating a cycle as well, like you refusing to repeat a certain cycle. That could be it. But these all represent the close of a cycle into a new one. In the center, we have the Tower with the Page of Cups in reverse. I did say a time of adjustment, growing pains, the metamorphosis, the massive change, all that stuff. I've been repeating it, and it still reigns true. As we get to the back end, we have the Seven of Cups with the Knight of Cups in the upright. The butterfly emerges right here on the back end. Many options, many paths, very much claimable energy right here at the conclusion. So Pisces, I would really embrace this. Don't fight against the flow. Embrace it and work with it. So this is really good stuff. Please take a screenshot. I'm going to get you a shadow card now. So let's see what's in the shadows for the Pisceans. My guides and spirit team, what's going on? And yes, my friends, if you've made it to this point in the spread, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll leave a link for it down in the comments. Always doing nice little bonuses and extras for my beautiful members over there. So please feel free to join us. So a bunch of Pisceans over there. But yeah, let's go. Obviously no pressure, but let's get you a shadow card here. Whether it's something within yourself or something you don't quite see. I always like to pull this at the very end. Ten of Swords, very common. Okay, so this could represent pain, this could represent endings that you're still holding on to. And when I see this as a shadow card, to me, it's like big whoop, no big deal. Because although this is a serious energy that we should take seriously, the Ten of Swords is the most common of the shadow cards, right? Because people tend to suppress and internalize Ten of Swords moments, pains, rock bottoms, stuff like that. Things that are very difficult to heal from. Okay, so for some of you, whatever changes or whatever cycles you're going through right now might not be comfortable, and that's okay. That's part of life. But the Ten of Swords, it is something that should be healed eventually. So for some of you, maybe Spirit's telling you, like, hey, you might be in the place right now where you could heal some of this pain, whether it's trust issues or betrayal things or just a painful ending of some sort. Spirit might be telling you, like, hey, now maybe you could start revisiting that. Okay, maybe don't internalize it. Maybe you can start on your road to healing this, whatever it might be. So Pisces, that's what I have for us this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the October subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the September subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced after this week's Fire and Air readings. But for October, I'll be going back to one of the classics. I'll be giving away 2 copies of the Everyday Witches Tarot. It's one of the most beautiful decks out there. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. Second, let me know down in the comments if there's a zodiac sign that you clash with. If so, which signs do you kind of bump heads with? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of October, your name will be announced in the community tab, my friends. As always, much love, and I'll see you next time.